standings are, if they can keep that little bit of an edge over them as we get into the playoffs point, then they might, you know, maybe get that first place spot. They might get second. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
So we're into the picks and the bans then. So let's have a look what's going out first. Sona banned here for the Lemondogs. A champion that Gambit have always loved to have in their roster. Voidal, out of the tiny amount of games that he's played up till now, most of them have been on Sona, all 2 of them. So they obviously don't want him playing that one, don't want him feeling comfortable. Shen banned out as well towards Darian. On the other side, Fiddlesticks taken away from Mythy. He's been very vocal about how powerful he finds that Fiddlesticks. Twisted Fate taken out for Nuke. It's no real surprise and no secret that Gambit don't like playing up against the likes of Twisted Fate. And then Aatrox banned finally for Lemondogs.
It's actually really surprising for me that Gambit, so they target a ban against Mythy, and then they, well, as we do see the last one come in, they finally target Nuke a little bit more because he's been the big playmaker for Lemondogs lately. He's been the one roaming around, making those 1v1s happen, really getting snowballed. And with the Twisted Fate, the Fizz gone, I mean, he still has so many different champions like Zed he could pick up, but we already do have the first pick come in, and that's a big one.
Yeah, and again, I said this at the end of the last game, that Elise is the most first-pick champion in the world right now across the professional scenes. That's a pretty awesome statistic to have for Elise, and maybe for Lemondogs here as they pick her up in their first round of picks. But Gambit on the other side, Thresh was open, Zed was open, that's their first round.
Now think back 2 games, or not 2 games ago, but the second time these 2 teams played. Yeah, second time, I had to make sure. Who was on Elise? Dexter just demolished them on that lead. That was 8-0 and like 6 on him. Snowballed so early. That game was like one of the quickest we've had in European LCS.
22 minutes and 49 seconds. I remember it well. It was also in that video a little bit earlier on, which kind of cheated. But they won that game 20 kills to 2. It was a demolition. It wasn't even close for the Lemondogs. So we'll see what they go for this time around. Added in, currently hovering over the Jarvan, Dexter's most played champion, and possibly a Lulu here for Mythy.
Okay, yeah, and it's kind of cool because so when people have been Sona out against Gambit, we saw Voidal actually go to Lulu last time. But this time it looks like he's going to be going to Thresh to make the big plays happen. But for me, it's all about that Zed pick. Because it can be in the jungle. We've seen it done before by RNA. Didn't really work out that time. But Alex, like, that's the kind of champions I like to see him play on. Not the team comp-oriented champions, it's the assassins, the ones that make him make plays, like his Kha'Zix's last split, getting that pentakill. It's just, that's his style to me, roaming around, making the plays happen in other lanes, and I really want to see if that will be on him and how well he performs.
Well, on the other side, the Kennen picked up there with the Elise, and they were quite vocal about these picks as well. The Elise with the Lulu with basically anyone that goes in there. Wild Growth just gives you that extra knock-up for a guy who's gonna be in there anyway to be doing his damage. Is a fantastic thing to have in. Looks like Gambit might think about taking that Jarvan away that Dexter was hovering over a little bit earlier on. Actually, Diamond has got brilliant statistics on it as well. Played 6 games, won 5 of them with Jarvan.
It's kind of hard to have bad statistics with Jarvan. I think everyone across the board has good statistics with them. But yeah, I mean, we're used to seeing Diamond play a lot of really aggressive junglers, but the Jarvan can be aggressive, can be very gank heavy as well. And I'm just looking at Lemondogs' side, and they have to be really happy with what they have so far, because the Elise is a comfort champion for Dexter. The Kennen is a comfort champion for Zoro as he played it twice yesterday. And if they lock in the Caitlyn and cast it in behind that, I mean, they're going to be so happy with who they have. And then, of course, Genja on the Varus. We saw him play it the first time back in the spring split. Did a phenomenal job. His snipes with the piercing arrows caught everyone off guard. He still did his own unique little build. Played a little bit earlier. Didn't work out as well, but we're going to see how well it's going to work out this game for him. Yeah,
and we have seen Tabs, you know, if we think back to the start of the split, and we were questioning, okay, brilliant on Caitlyn, but can he really push to other champions? He's proven already, of course, that he can do that, but Caitlyn has been his most impressive AD carry in my books. And as I say that, of course, he's going to just switch out to Vayne here with 10 seconds to go. So we'll wait for these last-minute switches to come in because Lemondogs are still making their minds up, but looks like it is going to be Vayne Karthus.
Okay, so if they do lock those in, this is going to be really dangerous for Gambit, because look at every single member of their team. They have damage up the wazoo. I think that's an American phrase, but if you look at it, very American. Fighting the cherry twice. I don't know. I've never heard that one, as Demon was saying earlier. But the whole thing of the AoE composition they have with Dexter, or not with Dexter, sorry, with Zoro and Kennen, with Nuke on Karthus, then the Wild Growth ultimate out of Lulu, like they can pretty much engage upon you, knock you up, keep you within the range with the stuns and everything. And the thing is, when you run a Vayne, you either need to do like a protect the Vayne composition, which we see CLG do in North America with Double Lift, But there's also the other kind of composition where you're the one engaging. And because of that, you're forcing the enemy team to attack your front line, so she just sits in the back and attacks you. And the only one that, well, actually there's two people who can really get to Tabs in the back line is that Jarvan and is that Zed. So it's going to be really interesting to see how well Tabs does early on, because that's going to pretty much show you how well he's going to do as the game progresses.
Yeah, a protect the Vayne combo without technically protecting her, because you are such up in your face that they can't do much about it. And this is where we see the Vladimir coming into this one as well, because obviously the fact that he can just pull up and avoid a lot of that damage is a really great thing. Darren, of course, has played, compared to other players, more Vladimir than anywhere else.
And actually, he's playing against, I think, one of the few, or only few other ones. Nukeduck played Vladimir back in, I think it was week number 2. So yeah, it's going to be really cool to see how well he plays in that, because he can amplify, if I'm not mistaken, the damage onto a Zed ultimate if he uses ulti first.
Wasn't it against Lemondogs that he actually played Vladimir the last time?
I think it was Vladimir versus Zed.
Because they were pushing the inhibitors, and Darian's just in the middle lane, just doing a bit of farming against super minions with his Vladimir. Obviously, that he'd been caught out 3 or 4 times before that, and that game was well and truly over about 10 minutes before that had actually happened. That was the last time that we saw that big victory, of course, coming out for the Lemondogs here against Gambit. So we'll see how this one all works out for them. Gambit, it goes without saying, really are in need of a victory here today. A loss against the Lemondogs would put them 0 for 3 in week 8, which is such a dangerous time to be, you know, falling off the consistent results. And we talked right at the beginning of yesterday about Gambit being consistent, and I suppose they have been consistent up until now. They've lost both games, but that's obviously not the consistent that they're aiming for this.
I think they were the most consistent team across Europe. If we look back in the spring split, they were always winning games. We look in the beginning of the summer split, they were doing a phenomenal job in the beginning as well. They were the most consistent team out of the old guard teams coming in from the spring split. Yeah. And it's a little bit weird to see that they're having a little bit of troubles now. And this is the worst time to have troubles in your team, whether it's, you know, just in terms of team synergy or just not playing well. Because with what's at stake, with what's coming up, you cannot afford that.
Yeah, and the fact is that they've had those roster changes coming. Obviously, Edward went off to North America. Then they brought in Darker, who honestly wasn't doing bad at all for them. They seem to have found a really good rhythm, I think, with Darker. But then for whatever reason, and all that went down, they brought in Voidal to this one, the first ever non-Russian permanent member in the Gambit team, which in itself for me is a massive step for them. And up until now, it's just not quite working out for them. We'll see how it goes this time around, though, as we get into Lemondogs versus Gambit. And let's talk a little bit here about the level 1. And you know, you've got the likes of that Threshold that's going to be dangerous. Dexter, of course, could end up going Cocoon at the same time. Also, on the other side, you've got Nukeduck on Karthus, which is a great champion for early scouting with those lay wastes.
Those little skittles that he's got going on. Yeah, and the thing is about Lemondogs is I'm not sure if they want to go for a level 1 fight, because they have such a snowbally composition. If they throw anything in the beginning, if they actually do chase down here and get baited in, then if they fall behind early on, they're going to have a tough time kind of getting back into it. But if they get like 1 or 2 kills, if Dexter makes those opportunities happen, he's going to snowball as hard as he did in that other game against Gambit, and the rest of his team will follow suit.
Well, we just saw a ward put up there in the Tribush. There was already a Gambit ward down there for that one. So we'll see what happens here at level 1, whether either team is planning on taking a risk and invading those buffs. And funnily enough, we do these days see a lot of deep warding, a lot of later invades, I think is what we can say. And usually it ends up with just a trade on the buffs.
Yeah,
which is, for me, a little bit strange, because it almost doesn't make sense to do it.
Yeah, then why ward?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I don't know, I think it's just because it forces a hand, so you guarantee you know where they're going to go. And because of that, like, that's the reason for deep ward, to know where the jungler is. And if you pretty much take away a buff because you warded it up, then you know he's going to be at yours. So you can kind of predict that in your top lane or your bot lane or whatever. It can just play a little bit safer. But yeah, I completely agree. It's just a little weird.
There's the other side to it as well, right? That if you have the timing on the enemy buff, you can protect your buffs next spawn, plus know when theirs is coming up, and maybe have a chance to grab the both of them. So I guess it's a bit of a double-edged sword, that one. As see the start there for Dexter. Miffy actually taking a lot of damage in this bottom lane. Voidal just thrashing away in there with the Thresh, and having to cause him to burn a couple of those pots in the early stages of this one. So we've got pretty standard lanes going on right now. The top laners in the top lane, the mid lane is in the middle, and the duos down in the bottom.
Yeah, and Lemondogs, they played something smart. They got the Lulu before they got the Vayne, because Lulu is a pretty strong counter to Vayne, just in terms of you can get that stealth detection, so you can't ulti, tumble away, and then not be visible anymore. You also have slows, which really counters Vayne quite hard, so they got that really good protection. Also, Lulu's gonna have a speed up for Tabs if he wants to chase someone down, but my mind and my eyes are all focused on Dexter right now, on that Elise. I want to see if he can make that impact he's made in these other games, because he has some decent lanes to gank. He has a slow in the mid lane, he has a stun top lane, he has a slow and potential condemn bot lane. It's just all about whether or not he can make these opportunities happen.
Yeah, and then you see here in the European LCS a 62% win rate from almost 30 games. We'll see now if Dexter can continue that win rate. As the Lantern goes down, Dexter coming out. Voidal actually caught a little bit out of position, but there is a Lantern. Diamond coming in. Voidal is very low from this one. And actually, Diamond, it could be in trouble there. Genja getting involved at the back, and a bit of it, damage being exchanged around the 6 players down in that bottom lane, but no, first blood.
And great job by Diamond to be there to counter that gank.
Yeah.
I mean, if Dexter wasn't interrupted right there and there was a 3-on-2, they would have gotten that first kill on Voidal easily with that condemn, and that would have given him that nice little bit of a snowball. But he's continuing. He's sitting in this lane. He wants to push it, get a little bit of lane tax going on. And okay, so they're not going to stick around for a little bit more damage to the turret, but Dexter, he's just going to continue to farm up, and Darren, he's pushing against his own turret right here, so he's already down quite a bit of CS right now, but obviously it's due to all these minions being there, but it's really kind of hard for Vladimir to farm under turret at these early levels.
Yeah, obviously once we get towards that level 8 to 9, or 9 really in particular, is when that Vladimir starts to really hold his own and become more of a troublesome champion. But that's what didn't happen for him last time. If we remember, they faced so many early kills in that game that none of them really got going. So interested to see whether Lemondogs can have that impact here again, because as we've seen, Elise, she snowballs beastly out of the jungle. But if you don't get that going, how strong is it going to be for Lemondogs?
Well, the thing is, it can always be strong just in terms of CC if you can land that one cocoon and then you can just follow up completely behind it. But you're definitely right. Like, if you don't get the tankiness you need, you cannot dive into the team of Gambit, because they can just blow you up. And one thing that Gambit has is the Vladimir, in terms of you naturally build some life or some spell vamp, and you naturally build magic resist on him, like with a Spirit Visage to help out with that. If you pair that in with the Runic Bulwark, he's not going to get bursted down by Zora, Zero, Dexter, or Nuke Deck at all. And mix it in with this pool, he's going to be very hard to lock down, very hard to kill, but right now he's being ganked in this top lane by Dexter.
Yeah, he's actually going to try and ghost away from this one, and he is going to pull up here, but chance of escape not going to happen for him. First blood coming down there, and he was caught out of position. The problem is that he'd not been back to buy whatsoever there. They realized that. They knew from that there were no walls around. It was a free kill on him. He was totally pushed up in there. Not the start that Darren and Gambit as a whole will have wanted here.
And the thing is, this is what every team mostly does to Gambit. Just camp Darien and kind of question mark, and then profit and win the game. It's just a little bit weird. But he should kind of realize he's always ganked in that top lane, and he's surprisingly, I have to say, an emotional player, where you don't really see it too much, but you can see it in his playstyle, where if he gets ganked consecutively, he just kind of goes on tilt. He's like, all right, forget this game. I'm just going to keep pushing, keep farming, keep getting caught, and then see if we can do something later on.
Yeah. That keeps going in this one. Mithy here getting hooked down in the bottom lane. Genja coming in. Good damage coming down there to Mithy. What's a W on him? Well, let's move himself completely away from that one. Not really too much of a problem, but any early trades with, you know, champions that can't heal up, don't have that natural sustain built in, is obviously going to cause him to be having to go back at some point when those pots run out.
Yeah, and Tabs has that vamp sensor, so he has that early lifesteal advantage over Genja right now, but Dexter trying to visit that mid lane. Actually might have been a possible kill, but Alex, he is level 6, so he could actually potentially have the damage to take Dexter down, but we have to keep in mind that Karthus, he has that global ultimate. People seem to forget about it sometimes, and if we see any lanes get low, he should be able to clean up with a kill.
I always forget about it, even when I'm playing Karthus. It tells you how good I am with him. But right now, Zoro Zero, as you'd expect, double Doran's Blade, so he's gone very, very aggressive. He's going to have a lot of ability to farm and harass Darien underneath this turret, who picking up the amp tome there along with boots as well. Obviously, that's going to help in his escape. Got no ghost available to him. Now, we've seen this a lot from the few Vladimirs, really, that we've been seeing coming through and have always really gone. He's going with ghost rather than flash because of the synergy with the pool.
Yeah, it's really hard for Vladimir to keep up with you, and you're kind of forced into rallies on that fact, but we do see the cocoon landing.
Yeah, slicing. Maelstrom coming in as well. He is going to pull up from this one. Puts down his ultimate there, but Zoro tanking up the turret as long as he could for Dexter, who will repel away, but actually, Darian does get the kill from that, so a decent turnaround for him. Okay, he's died again, but at least he's picked up a kill.
Yeah, very true. That's a phenomenal job by him, too, considering that I think Lemondogs might have misplayed it a little bit, but he took advantage of that situation, picking up that kill, and honestly, he's got to be a little frustrated with that, but it's going to help him get his item build going a little bit more. Zoro, I want to know if he's actually going to take that turret down. In the meantime, Diamond, he's trying to take away that much-needed blue buff from Nukeduck, from Karthus, and they're actually going to dive him here.
Yeah, they're going to dive onto him. There's the exhaust down. Nukeduck going to stand right on top of him, and honestly, he's not even done half HP to 1, but Diamond going very low from this one. Here comes the Requiem. Shield comes up, and he's just about done enough to survive.
I think I saw him on 9 health at the end of that because of the shield. That was just perfectly well executed, and you know he's walking away saying that was calculated. I knew that was going to happen. I knew he was going to survive, but still a great job by Alex to kind of get an early snowball going. He's ahead in CS. He has a build order Cutlass done. He has that 1 kill, and just like as we were saying before, if he starts to roam around a little bit in terms of on the map, he can really make some plays happen and really start to snowball the game for Gambit.
So 8.5 minutes in, already 4 kills down, which is a decent rate if we look at the rates of first blood, for example, for Lemondogs.
Yeah, so Lemondogs actually have the slowest first blood time in the summer split of European LCS at 7 minutes and 59 seconds. And Gambit, they have the quickest time at 4 minutes and 48 seconds. So it's a little bit interesting to see that happen. Lemondogs are turning things on their heads.
And then once again, Zoro in that top lane, putting down the pressure onto Darian. He's actually, is he going to head down here from this one? He's just going to put a ward there in that tri-bush. Doesn't want Diamond spoiling that party that he's set himself up nicely in this top lane. And he's got a 2-level advantage right now over Darian. That's kind of scary.
Oh yeah, it definitely is, especially for a cannon. And luckily for Darian, he does have that spell vamp. He's just going to pull up. Actually takes more damage from the pool than he might have taken from Zoro. But one thing that's interesting that Zoro does is he actually runs 4% lifesteal. So with the double Doran's Blades, with the 20 health on hit, mixed in with that 4%, or the 10 health on hit, mixed in with the lifesteal, he has a lot of sustain in lane, a lot of damage, and that's why he tries to go for that early attack damage.
Yeah, and doing him really nicely as well in this top lane now. He's not really being bothered apart from that 2-on-1, which Darian could probably say, you know, did very well, unable to get himself a kill despite dying for a second time up there. As we see Dexter here just waiting off to the side, as once again Alex going to go in on towards Nukeduck, and there is the death mark going to trigger. Picks up himself another kill, and that's just far too easy. But I think that's going to be the danger of a Zed once he gets to level 6.
Oh, sorry, I was waiting to see what Photo was going to do right there, but you're definitely right. That was just way too easy for Alex right now, and that just shows how damn good of a player he is. But in the meantime, Diamond, he snuck up into this top lane. They want to go for Zoro. He's already low health, and he's committing!
Yeah, they're going to go in for this one. There is the pull, and, well, Zoro, he's not going to survive this one. There's a heal back from Darian. Ignite was ticking away at him, which is obviously going to reduce the heal, but it's enough, and miscalculation there for Zoro.
And wow, such a great job by Diamond this entire game. He counter-ganked bot lane against Dexter, then right there, he baited in Zoro perfectly because he knew he was going to get aggressive and turn that around against them. So now they're up with gold. They're up 4-2 in kills, and honestly, compared to the last couple times these teams have met, Gambit's doing a fantastic job.
Oh, there's Mithy. Actually, they're going to flame back. Boxer's gone down. No, I'm told Genja, it's taking him a while to get involved. Wild Growth in, and Voidal, he's going to die here. Tab picks up that kill, and tragically for Gambit, Mithy is still alive and has been able to walk away.
And here comes Dexter for the side.
Yeah, they're still going for this one as well. Dexter, is he going to be able to get in there for that cocoon? The minions coming to block his path as the Condemn comes down. There's a flash cocoon. The Fangs sink in. Tabs will actually pick up the kill in the end. That's 2 kills for the Vayne, who's already out farming Gambit's AD carry.
And we talk about snowball for Lemondogs. That is exactly what you need to do. A Vayne can snowball so hard against you. Yeah, Zoro, he did die in the top lane, but he's a cannon. He has that Nuclear Gerard already, and right now, no team's actually going for Dragon off the back of that, but that was a fight that Gambit initiated. Like, that was Vodo going in on the Mithy, trying to burst him down, and he escapes just barely with the help of that flash.
Right now, Alex Hitch, we've already said, doing a fantastic job here in this mid lane. He's going to take the first turret of the game. That's a one-on-one right there. No jungle interaction pretty much whatsoever there either. And fantastic play by Alex right now to keep Gambit in the lead barely here with the gold at 200. Right now, Alex and Diamond are just waiting off to the side. They may be lured into a bit of a trap from this one. Mithy stood there as Well, the flag came in. I don't think he actually stole it there, right?
No,
went to
but
Nuke Duck.
the Wraith was attacking someone in the bush, so they kind of knew someone's there right now. We're not going to go in for
It
that.
was Nuke Duck who I think auto-attacked him,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, so they realized that I think he wasn't going to come in. He's like, well, I'm going to get that Wraith. I'm not losing out on that one for this element of non-surprise that's happening. There's a pink ward down for Mithy, who's probably feeling pretty good about himself after surviving that last fight. Pink ward down, and there is a spider.
No.
Oh, Voidal, he's going to face check straight into this one to put that pink ward down. He gets a play back on towards Dexter, but can they keep up the pressure? Tabs is coming around the side. Voidal will get the help of Diamond from this, and that will force Lemondogs to back off, but that was dangerous again.
Oh, very. And the thing is, look how much money Mithy is sinking into these pink wards. He wants control of that tri-bush. He wants control of the upper side of the red buff as well, just to kind of make these ganks happen. But the thing is, Alex, because he took that first middle turret, he has an opportunity to roam bottom, to roam top, and he can really put some pressure on these other lanes where Tabs, he has that lead just like you mentioned earlier. And now Lemondogs, they have to be very careful. They don't let Alex pick up any more kills. And you see that reflected in Nuke Duck. I mean, he's just sitting there trying to farm on his second turret. He's not pushing out at all.
Which is all well and good, you know, this Cartha's farming, he's going to be getting stronger as things go along, but they lost that turret without doing anything about it, really. Nuke Duck obviously had to back away from that, couldn't do anything to defend. He knew he'd just get jumped on if that was going to go down. And right now, we are seeing first Dragon of the game coming out for Gambit. There is the hook actually coming on towards Mithy. Box going to go down as well. Dragon picked up here by Gambit, and now they jump in. There's the Cataclysm. There is the ultimate out of Genja as well. Tab's being tied up from this. Have they got the damage to finish him off as well? Requiem comes down, but look at Alex. He's coming in from the bottom side. Tabs is on a bit of a mission to nowhere. Zoro0 and Darian are fighting in the top lane right now as well. Zoro0 will get that kill. So let's have a look at Tabs going down to Alex, and that will be a massive pickup overall for Gambit. Yeah, Darian died again in the top lane, but honestly, it's probably for the greater good with what happened down bottom.
And that Karthus ulti that came out, it wasn't even for Tabs in the bottom. It was for that top lane, just to kind of get the damage onto Darian, since he knew they were dueling it out. Just kind of happens that he did some damage into the bottom side. But yeah, great job by Gambit right there. And Joe, here's a little tip, a little bit of info. Did you know these two teams were actually tied on the amount of dragons they've taken in the summer split before this week at 46.
And now?
Oh, I don't keep this. I don't update it day for day. That's a lot of work to do. But yeah, they're actually
Sorry, Jason.
they were tied.
I left you hanging on that one. I was just testing you, you know. But yeah, in this game at least, Gambit are 1-0 up, and that's what counts to us now. 14 minutes into this, as Nuke Duck trying to get his blue buff, sees that Diamond is coming around and pretty much says, well, Dexter, I need some help here. Otherwise, this blue buff is going to be gone. Diamond is still there.
Oh,
now
no,
Alex is just coming around the side. They've got no idea that he's actually there. There's a smite away.
He got it.
No, he
Nuke
didn't.
got it.
Nuke Duck got it in that one, but they've gone in on towards Dexter. He will repel out. The polymorph comes down to Alex, but as soon as the spider hits the ground, as all good spiders should as they hit the ground, get squashed.
He threw a shadow at him and just like, there, die. Just so well done. But in the end, I mean, the damage is done, and I think, well, obviously you don't want to trade a death like that, but to get the blue buff on a Nuke Duck is such a huge thing. When he's already far behind, he needs that blue to really farm up waves, to really push Alex out. And with that blue buff, you always have the potential for a Karthus to go for a very early Baron. I don't think this is the type of game that necessarily go for it, but still, that was I have to say, a slight win for Lemondogs in the end.
Well, Diamond just got his red buff. We can see that Alex, who's double buffed up now and feeling probably pretty invincible, 4-0-0. Got that Blade of the Ruin King, got the Brutalizer in there as well. And as you said, as soon as that outer turret goes down, he has just been all over the place, and he's not scared, naturally, to get involved and try and get the ball rolling further for the rest of his teammates.
And that's the thing. That's what he can do that Nuke Duck can't do, just based on the champion, where he's a lot more mobile. He has a lot more burst potential to make happen. I mean, what Karthus has over Zed, though, is, yeah, you can't really leave the lane and gank as often, but you have that global presence with that ultimate. And right now, he doesn't really have that much AP built up. We see Mithy get caught bottom, though.
Yeah, well, they've pulled him in, but Dexter is actually there. There's a box going down, and there is Diamond once again for the counter gank. He's actually fallen pretty low from this as Tabs condemns him against the wall. Cataclysm goes down. Diamond's gonna die here. Tabs actually gets the wild growth, but he can't quite escape. Voidal picks up the kill. Dexter still hanging in. Genja's gonna try and follow it with that one, with a flash away from the spider means no more kills down there in that bottom lane. Or is the Dexter here speeding on forward thanks to Mithy, but I think safer to just back away from that one. Genja is definitely not happy. And in the top lane, actually, Kennen coming back up there as a piercing arrow comes through. Not quite enough damage for the finisher.
That was really close. And actually, you might see Darren get a fight here.
Yeah, and Karthus actually going to pop his ultimate from this. Zoro backs away, says, I'll survive that one. Keep them double buffs. Thank you very much. 8-8 tied up on kills. Gold is about 100 difference, not even.
And that's exactly what we're just talking about, Joe. The advantage Zed has versus a Karthus. Global presence right there versus Zed roaming around. And the thing was, Zoro came down and actually ganked him, got the kill, so they pretty much shut him down, got a little bit of extra gold for them. And that kind of brings them back in. It kind of keeps Alex in check. And gotta give Mythy credit in that fight. The selfless play out of him to pretty much leave his ultimate up to use onto tabs just to keep him alive. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but that was just a great play by him, a great bait as well.
Good stuff, man. Right now, neither team going to be feeling super confident about things. Gambit, on the other hand, are at least going to be thinking, last time Lemondogs played us on the blue side, we'd almost lost by now. We only survived another 4 minutes from this point in the actual game. So it's definitely going a lot better than it was the last time around. They were in this in these scenarios with Gambit on the red side, Lemondogs on the blue. But still plenty of way to go. And there is the stat that we were looking for earlier. 161 on Vladimir in week 4's loss to Lemondogs was Darian. It's currently 2-4-0, so he's got more kills already.
He's got some better stats going on right now, but the game still is young a little bit. And yeah, it just showed where Lemondogs' focus was. And Dexter, who's all up in that top lane, really punishing Darian. And right now, as you look at this game, he did earlier. Unfortunately, he didn't snowball the game as hard because Diamond, he said, all right, I know what you're going to do. You're going to try to camp him out a little bit more. I'm going to be there to counter it, and we're going to get a kill on Zoro, and that's exactly what happened.
So things quieten down somewhat, but probably not for any more than a minute here because that dragon is going to be coming up soon. So let's take stock at the items then because we've not really talked about them for a while. Zoro 0 on Kennen, 3-1-2, absolutely dumping on Darren when it comes to both the kills and the CS up there. Got the Zhonya's, got the needlessly large rod, those 2 Doran's blades that he obviously started with, giving him that extra attack damage and the health probably more importantly as we move further towards those team fighting stages. If we look at the mid lane as well, Nuke now got his Rod of Ages starting to get itself stacked up. Plus one half of the Zhonya's. Yep,
Rod Age is almost done. And I want to touch on the Zhonya's real quick because the Zoro build is really a little bit different. So you see a lot of Kennens, when they get an early advantage in lane, they go like a Haunting Guides. They go for some more potential in lane to duel the other person. But he went for more of a team-oriented composition or an item build with that Zhonya's because he realized with Alex that fed, he's going to need that Zhonya's. He cannot afford to be popped right now again. But they're starting up Dragon. There is a ward to spot it for Lemondogs, and we might see the first team fight break out here.
Well, Dragon is already down to less than half. Nuke coming in. Dragon now already finished off before Lemondogs could really get involved with that one. And I think they've decided to call this one a day, but not Alex. He's gone diving in straight on towards Nuke here. As he said, Zhonya's is available. Actually didn't. Oh no, he wasn't. It was for Zoro 0, sorry, the Zhonya's that was actually finished. There comes a Requiem down. Darian's gonna die. It's actually a double kill in the end. It leaves Diamond super low. Dexter's gonna mop this one up. Actually, yes, he will. I thought Tabs was maybe gonna steal it. Tabs trying to chase down for Genja there as well. And that fight, it was Gambit putting down all the pressure into it. I mean, if Karthus' Zhonya's was finished there, obviously in the fight got mixed up, that was with Kennen at the start of it. But if that would have happened, he probably wouldn't have died, and that would have been a 4 for nothing.
Wow, they're going for a Baron. Baron. Yeah, and wow. I think that fight was single-handedly won by Zoro because of positioning on that ultimate, and because he noticed Alex dove in really far, and he tried to protect right away. We do see Genja actually stopping them from going Baron, but they're not going to be able to really go for the kill onto him. But Zoro just the reaction just to say, oh, I see Alex is on Nuke Duck. I'm going to try to protect him. He almost saved him. He actually died. I believe that was to the Jarvan flag toss. And then just the position, so they couldn't commit any farther in.
Well, the good thing is that even though Nuke Duck actually dies there, it gave him the point to use the Requiem right there. And then if he'd have just walked away with a little bit of health, he would have had to walk probably further away to make sure that he wouldn't have died anyway to any more attacks whilst that Requiem has been channeled. So it gave them that opportunity. They've done well with it. And to be honest, look at the farm there as well. Considering how battered he was in the early stages, he's actually brought that one right back. He's around about 200, 300 gold behind at this stage, but credit to Nuke for bringing that farm right back.
He's done a fantastic job, and how Lemondogs did that was Dexter sacrificed a lot of his farm. If you look, 59 to 84 between the junglers, and because of allowing Nuke to just sit there, take wolves, take wraiths over and over, he's able to catch back up, and Zoro's getting caught here.
Oh, and this is a bait coming in though, because Dexter is around the side. Zoro going very low though. Darian not quite able to get the finishing touches, and Zoro gonna walk away from it. Diamond coming in. Dexter's reactions pretty much saving him there.
Yeah, and I think that was Lemondogs going for a kill on the top side, because Zoro's ultimate was like 2 seconds away from coming up before he got engaged upon, but Alex, he's not going to be able to see anyone. Oh, he actually might if Dexter sticks around a little bit longer, but this will be another turret for Gambit, and considering we're 22 minutes in with 21 kills happening, I'm surprised only 3 turrets have gone down.
He's managed to actually walk away from that one. Alex not checking over there towards that brush as he decided to cancel his recall. He could have actually died there if that would have happened, but in the end, Gambit now got a pretty scary roaming 3-man team there. Vladimir, Zed, and Jarvan, not the 3 guys you want to run into in a dark jungle.
Yeah, that is it's really hard to deal with, and a knock-up, the pure damage they have, not to mention the amplification, it's just very scary to go up against. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, like the whole combo of Vladimir and the ultimate out of Alex, like the damage amplification that will happen to Alex's ultimate is pretty much unavoidable, or obviously unavoidable, but the damage will kill you unless you have like a Zhonya's or a GA up. So Tabs, he's gonna have to invest into like a QSS relatively early on to cleanse that away, or else he's just gonna get blown up, because right now his two AP carries, they have the Zhonya's, they have the protection, and Alex has his eyes on Tabs.
So there's another blasting one added in for Nuke, who now does have the lead in terms of the creep score. So good job from him on that front. Actually, Genja, who was behind in CS and kills, is still behind in kills, of course, but in terms of CF, he's done what Genja generally does, which is completely fall off the radar in terms of what we're looking at and what we're talking about, and he farms his way back into significance in the game.
Yeah, I mean, look at the gold he has accrued so far. He's down 4 kills, but it's only a 600 gold difference between him and Tabs right now, and he has a Bloodthirster, so he has some sustain, but the problem is that little bit of an advantage he does have in CS doesn't mean anything compared to a Vayne. As long if you can't lock her down and she gets that free auto attacks on you, with which Lemondogs have a composition to make happen, then she'll just demolish your entire team.
Oh, that Phantom Dancer was just added in to the Blade of the Ruin King as well, so Tabs really getting himself going here. Alex trying to take down this turret. They may go in for it. There is a death mark coming down, avoiding the condemn completely, but Alex is a dead man from this. Did manage to take the turret as he went, and it looked pretty spectacular at first, but then they realized exactly how much damage Tabs is putting out.
That ultimate was amazing. He's done that before on other games, and just to dodge a condemn, like you said, fortunately just didn't expect that much damage coming out of Tabs. He ended up dying, and Tabs, he just hurts so bad right now. 5-2-1, 186 CS, and right now I think Lemondogs, they can afford to team fight. Like, they've shut Alex down. They realized that he was a huge threat. He was 4-0, Joe, like 5-10 minutes ago, and now he's 4-3-1. He's been shut down very well, and you see Zoro with that death cap coming in, with that Zhonya's, they have such a great team fight.
And it's Tabs that really, as a Gambit player, you've got to be scared of here as well, because we just saw there, if he can outdo Alex Sitch's Zed at this stage of the game, okay, he got a little bit of help there coming out of Mithy, but honestly, how much did he really contribute to that? It was all the damage coming out of Tabs that got him that kill. Did use his barrier actually in that, so we'll factor in that a little bit, just give him Alex a bit more of a fair deal on it, but in the end that was it, as we are going to see Cataclysm coming down, and Nuke, he's not too worried about that one. He'll stick in there with Jarvan until the rest of the team get in range. He flashes away, and Gambit retreat back from this one. Tabs is down on his own at the bottom. They're actually all running down to his position here.
They want to go for Dragon right now, but it's not up just yet. Maybe they mistimed it just a little bit. But right now, Lemondogs, they might be able to punish him here. They might be able to just rush down that mid lane if they want, take that turret, and Gambit starting off the Dragon. I believe they already have 2 under their belts, and Lemondogs, because of their presence, because of Zoro in particular, finishing up the Sork boots, like, just him showing himself makes Gambit retreat, and for that, they're going to lose a turret.
Yeah, and that's the thing here that Lemondogs knew that they had, which is a positional advantage. As soon as the red team goes into that, the bottom side of the river for Dragon, you can just loop straight back around and have that turret away. And with that Vayne, there's nothing to stop them doing the turret whatsoever. And the thing is now, the blue buff is up as well as Darian there nicely dodging the cocoon. Thanks to his pull. But is this going to mean the first dragon of the game for Lemondogs? I don't see Gambit relinquishing control, but well, apparently what I see is incorrect, and they are going to.
Yeah, I mean, they have to. They cannot afford to fight Lemondogs anymore because of that Zonia rush. Like, I cannot stress this enough. Because of that Zonia rush by both of the AP carries, and Alex seeing that he can't 1v1 Tabs right now, they realized we can't fight him. Like, there's just no way. Unless Darien gets off like a 5-man Hemoplague, then they might have the potential for it. But right now, it's just not happening. And Genja, I guarantee he's calling. I just want to farm up a little more, get a little strong before we get into these fights.
Oh, and they're thinking about going for this one. There was the Lantern. And that will allow him to get out. Dark Passage saving him from being caught out. Dexter just going to go back and farm. 2-2-4, not quite the snowbally beast of a spider. I think he grew some extra legs in that last game against Gambit. That's how scary he was, but not quite the same this time. But he's been instrumental in getting things started for the likes of Tabs, who definitely is turning into a monster.
And I also think, because also Zoro, like his interaction that top lane, getting him that early kill makes him that threat that we see right now. And you're definitely right on Tabs on top of that, because he's been visiting that bottom lane, make it so he can farm very well, pick up some kills. It makes it so he's a really strong threat. And Gambit, like, it's hard for them to just go up against this team fight potential that Lemondogs has. They need to sneak something maybe, or just work off a pick here and there. And the way Lemondogs are playing, the way Mythy's calling in particular, as we heard in the video earlier on today, he's not going to let that happen.
No, they are looking like a different team to what we saw at the start, which, like I said in the video, wasn't a bad team at all. They were picking up wins here and there, but this introduction of Mythy has really brought them to the next level. And right now, of course, sat at the top of the table at 13-9. A win here against Gambit will put them 14-9, which is a good piece above the rest of the teams. And it's one win, which sounds like a good piece, but we're coming up to the final week next week. Yes, it's a super week. It's a lot of games for all the teams, but still, to be one game ahead in such a close league table as this one is certainly going to be a very comforting thing for the Lemondogs.
And think back to the summer promotion tournament when they won. Like they said in the interview, yeah, we're going to be first place. We're going to win with the summer split. And right now, they're kind of on track to do it. I mean, people didn't believe them. They're like, oh, they're just being really cocky. So you do see the engage happen on a Nuke Duck.
Yeah, Diamond actually going in for that one. Nuke Duck here, trying to get away, but he will get hooked down. There is the box, and I think they realize they've just got to try and fight this one out. There's the Zonya's being used. Zoro gets right on top of them. Voidal going to go down. Here comes Alex Hitch from the side there. Darien taking a lot of damage. Zoro going to switch back out there as Alex dies to Tabs. They're also very low. Tabs is going to clean this one up here. Requiem comes down. Diamond won't die from it, but Tabs is still chasing on. Diamond is the last man left alive. Actually, Nuke Duck, how did he survive?
I don't know. Even mistimed his Zonius. He actually used it, and it was over before the Hemoplague went off, and he still lived. What?
I don't really understand how Akartha survives through a team fight and gets Requiem on, or off, and then just walks away from it without dying. That doesn't make sense to me here, but brilliantly done from Lemondogs. Another massive win in a team fight for them. They're going to get an inner turret in this mid lane now, and, well, to say they're in the driving seat would be kind of an understatement here. 8-2-1 now. Tabs got that Quicksilver Sash. Karthus, we saw there the damage coming in. Okay, not doing too much to the tankiest member of the team, Diamond, but the rest of them, they didn't really stand that much of a chance once, you know, the Defile and the ultimate out of Zoro stacked right on top of each other. So much damage.
Yeah, and that was actually a kind of very bad team fight for Lemondogs because they were out in the open. Yeah. They couldn't pretty much hold Gambit together and make all the AoEs work perfectly. But you just saw, like, Gambit, yeah, they got rid of Zoro, so they got rid of one major threat. They got Nuke Duck low, which honestly they maybe should have been able to kill, but then they forgot about Tabs, and he just punished them with that, just coming in from the side, picking up those kills, and they need an answer to him as he has a QSS now. So any ultimate that's going to be used against him from Alex or from Darren is going to be mitigated completely, and they're counting on that fact to kill him.
Well, the problem is you just can't forget about a Vayne. You just absolutely can't. We've seen some more items being picked up here. Both of the AP champions, certainly Kennen and Karthus, obviously, technically Dexter with Elise is on the same path as well there, but they've both got a Rabadon's Death Cap. They've both got a Zonya's Hourglass. We've just seen a Void Staff being picked up by Zoro. Damage overload in this next fight.
I don't think they need it anymore. I mean, they could probably force a Baron fight if they want to, because that will force Gambit into an enclosed area, but I think they're just going to wait for ultimates to come back up. Like, they cannot really afford to fight without having Zoro and Nuke Duck's ultimate available. I mean, it's just obvious. You need that Requiem to clean up kills, as we saw, or at least add in that little bit of extra damage, and you need Zoro's ultimate up to provide that CC and provide the threat that allows Tab to just sit there and free kill. And we talked about earlier in the picks and bans, you know, there's like a protect the Vayne composition. There's two ways of going about it. Having a composition that keeps the team off of him, or having a composition that engages so heavily and is such a threat that you can't go straight for the Vayne. And Zoro's getting creep blocked. Poor guy.
Completely blocked by that one, as we are going to see Alex Ich coming in. He's going to get stunned up. Requiem's coming down as well. He's still alive, though. Here comes a lightning rush in, and there is a finisher from Zoro. Taken two big ultimates out of Lemondogs right there, but to get rid of that Zed, which right now I feel is pretty much the only scary thing if they go for a 5 versus 5, if they do it right. Brilliant play. And
thing is, after 32 minutes, he was 4-0 originally. Now he's pretty much gotten 1 kill since then, but 5 deaths and 1 assist. Like, that just shows how would they shut them down. We saw that earlier with Fnatic versus Alternate, where they shut down Frozen Lord very early on with that Ahri, and they're doing a phenomenal job of it. And now, Baron's being started. They have to be a little bit careful, though, because Zoro's not there. Harvey is split pushing that turret.
Well, Diamond is hanging off towards the back. He's got his smite up for this one, and it's going to be taken by Lemondogs, and Zoro is still pushing. I mean...
So not only did they get Baron, and Gambit didn't stop it, but they're going to get a turret off of it, too.
Interesting decision not to at least try there, I feel, from Diamond, who's... I mean, it's 2-2-7 right now. Yes, another kill will help out Lemondogs in the grand scheme of things, but worth a try at this stage, probably.
And Lemondogs, they've accrued so much gold just from there. A Baron, a turret, and a Dragon on top of that. That's just so much money going into their pockets that they all have 1,000 gold or more to spend right now. And I mean, just look at their items. Like, what else could they want to buy right now? Because they're already so strong, as you see the Void stuff come in for Nuke Duck. And you look at Tabs, he's almost full build right now, 33 minutes in.
Yeah, this is scary stuff for Gambit. And there is a kill on... So there's Darian, as we saw him last time against the Lemondogs, which was basically giving up. I mean, he's been caught out there. He was, if you look at the position that he died in, there's 2 turrets. The nearest turret to him there was actually in his side of his own base. So
the nearest...
The nearest turret was actually probably on Lemondogs' side of the map, funnily enough.
That's what I was thinking.
With counting both teams in that, but that's for me. That is just typical Darian. That's what he did last time the Lemondogs were beating Gambit here, and that's what he's done before in other games. He seems to lose that focus as the game goes on when things aren't going his way. He's 2-7-3 right now, and he's just not been able to get involved. Didn't even. I think he just bought that Zhonya's actually.
Yeah, and that's like the worst time to have this happen in terms of where the game is and in terms of the season. Like, you cannot really afford to be losing focus. Where we saw in the last major team fight middle, even though Tabs did clean up, they got Nuke Duck very low. They got Zoro out of the game. Like, they had the potential to do it, and just throwing away deaths like that over and over, it kind of just sets you that much further behind that the chance of winning that next major team fight just go out the window.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's never over until it's actually over. There's always still a chance, however slim. And obviously, levels like this, it becomes a lot harder here as Mithy gonna take the death mark and, well, didn't really do all that much damage to him. Alex Ich not going full on combo. Zoro is still pushing up here. He's gonna take down the upper turret with the help of Dexter and Tabs. They're just going to try and pile on through maybe for their first inhibitor turret of the game.
And Joe, look at the farm difference that Zoro has over Darian. 120 CS per inch, we'll call it. That's crazy. 35 minutes. It shows why Darian's overextending, because he needs that farm. But having a Karthus at 350 farm, having a Cannon at 340 farm, having a Vayne who's pretty much dead even with Genja right now, that is just... Like, Lemondogs, they cannot be any happier right now with the position they're in.
Yeah, they're using that Karthus to actually push out the middle wave to create a bit of pressure on that turret as the Cocoon comes flying back. Genja actually got himself that Guardian Angel now. We'll see what impact that is actually going to have at some point. It really wouldn't surprise me to see Nuke Duck just go in underneath that turret at this stage. You saw him kind of edging close to him there. I'd be interested to know exactly how much AP he's carrying right now with that Baron buff on as well.
That is one thing that Lemondogs lack, is the engage. It has to be a flash engage out of Zoro or Nuke Duck unless you land a Cocoon, and that's kind of really tricky to do under this turret, but it's already very low right now. They've been able to siege it very well. They're not really getting poked down too much because of that regen, and that will be the first inhibitor turret going down.
Yeah, that's going to mean an open inhibitor here for the Lemondogs to take. There's a hook actually coming in on towards Nuke Duck, but he's not the player that you pull into into the rest of the team and knock back in there. So I'll leave that one as it is, I think was the call from Gambit. But they've lost the first inhibitor of the game, and inhibitor number 2 might not be far behind.
And they have to fight relatively soon. Like, you cannot afford to let 2 inhibitors go down, but Lemondogs, are they going to keep this aggression on, or are they going to stop? Because right now they're looking a little bit hesitant. Yeah, I mean, they are waiting for that wave to come up so they can push in a little bit right now, but Gambit, I mean, they're going to have to fight here. Like, Genja, he just went back to base. He has home guard boots. He might come in here. And Darian, what the?
Well, he got his pull off there, so credit for that one. But now we see the repel coming in. The rest of the team actually being locked out by the Cataclysm as Diamond goes right into the middle. But here come Nukeduck and Zoro, and they've absolutely destroyed those men that were involved underneath them. And well, it was a lot for, in the end, not a lot of kills. But to be honest, they're going to get Darian here finally, who just came in back in after healing. There's a Hemo Plague being completely Zonya'd away from by Nukeduck, and there is the second inhibitor going down. But Alex, he's not finished just yet. He comes in towards Tabs, who pretty much just sends him packing straight away. The rest of the team going to join in. Guardian Angel being popped. Wall of Pain is down on his head, and Alex Ich is going to go down as well. Tabs is now godlike at 10-2-4 with Vayne.
And that Venn diagram, that is a Karthus and a Cannon ult right there, running side by side, was fantastic. Genja picks up a kill on a Dexter, almost getting Nukeduck right there, but it's just a little bit too late at this point.
Yeah.
The running circles was just hilarious to me.
You're definitely not wrong with that analogy, I think. I mean, they've just gone home with 2 inhibitors and a load of kills worth of gold. And well, let's talk about some of those items again here, Jason. Guardian Angel #1 on Kennen, Guardian Angel #2 on Vayne, with a Last Whisper, Phantom Dancer, Blade of the Ruin King, Quicksilver Sash. Will of the Ancients picked up there for Karthus as well. Like, there's even a Giant's Belt, which I forgot to mention for Kennen, just keeping that little bit tankier with his Zonyas and his Guardian Angel in case he didn't have enough survivability over and over and over again. But we've got a Dragon coming up in 40 seconds, which Lemondogs might want.
They
or
might.
Not.
I don't know. I mean, they could want to take back that stat of having the Dragons. But right now, they're just pushing bottom. They're just going for that textbook win. 2 inhibitors down, let those waves keep pushing in, and then just go for that 5-on-5 engage or 5-on-4 or 5-on-3 engage on that turret. Because Gambit, they have to fight for it. Like, this will be the last stand from them.
It's going to be a 5-on-4, by the way, because Darian is farming the top lane right now. He finally will come back to join the team, and that's the thing. He wants to get that farm in there, and honestly, you'll never see Gambit surrender a game in terms of, you know, physically actually do a surrender vote. A couple of their players might surrender it. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. You go, Darian. You just charge in there for that one. Actually, Nukeduck wants to use the Zonyas here. They've all gone in for Darian, and, well, Tab's turning this one around. He's going to go legendary. Voidal being melted. Dexter goes down. Genja's going to come back up and go just as quickly back down from that one as well. GA of Zoro Zero was popped. Alex Ich actually did manage to survive that one there at the back, but that is going to be a good game right here. Lemondogs with 5 men moving in towards those Nexus. So it's Dexter actually tanking them there up for the sake of tanking them up right now. Alex still trying his best, steaming around with the home guards on this top side. He's going for his farm just for a bit longer. That is going to be good games. Lemondogs going to take down Gambit again here in absolute style to stay top of the league.
And even with that engage at the end, which was a little bit, what moment kind of thing, it actually almost worked for Gambit if you saw. I mean, they got them very low, but just the turnaround with the Guardian Angels was enough for Lemondogs to pretty much win that fight. And just wow, I mean, no one really expected Lemondogs to be at the top of the tables and beat teams like this in this season, but they're proving to everyone out there and the people who are voting on each of these games that, hey, we should probably send some more votes our way.
Yeah, 65% of the vote it was, I think, for 62. So it was in the 60s for Gambit, which 65, I'm being told. So 65 was, in fact, correct. Should never second question myself, Jason. Putting all that doubt in my mind. But yeah, Lemondogs, again, prove us all wrong, I think we can say. They're now 14